You can try to fool yourself into believing otherwise, but there is truly nothing like a win-or-go-home scenario in the postseason. Good evening, everyone, and welcome into our first playoff edition of Game Night as 4 classifications, count them out 4 in the state of Iowa, officially begin postseason play this evening. Leading off with an all-Siouxland matchup in the 8-player division. This was a very interesting contest, caught my eye. Take a look at the records. Newell-Fonda at 7-1, hosting Harris Lake Park at 6-2. Early on in this contest, first quarter, Mustang's going to strike first. Mason Dix drops back to pass. He's looking, he finds Wyatt Kreft with the diving reception into the end zone. The Mustangs looking good early, 7-0. Harris Lake Park, though, going to try to respond. Tice Gunderson, he'll take the snap. The QB draw right at the 1-yard line. Not going to stop that with a full head of steam. Extra point was blocked, so it's Mustangs up now 7-6. A huge defensive stop right here. Newell-Fonda is going to cough it up, and we've got a scoop and score right here from Mr. Gunderson, having himself a game. And do we smell an upset on the road? The Wolves coming to play early on in this one. They take a 14-7 lead after the 2-point conversion. But the Mustangs would find a response, though. Dix rolling, going to roll to his right now, looking, just going to heave this one up, and Caden Vandenbosch right there for the 30-yard touchdown reception, ties it up at 14 apiece. The Mustangs would settle in and really storm past their opponent in this one. 55-26, Mustangs advance. Let's go to Class 1A. West Sioux hosting East Sac County. And you know how some people say the game was over before they even stepped onto the field? Yeah, that was the case in this one. The Falcons absolutely ticked off from last year, coming so close to a state title. Gonna make sure that doesn't happen this year. First play from scrimmage for East Sac County, they cough it up. Carter Boltman recovers. Very next play, Brady Linut into the end zone. 2 plays into the contest, and it's 7-0 in favor of West Sioux. They would only pour on the points this time. Going through the air, Dylan Wiggins feeling some pressure. He's gonna roll to his right. Heaves this one up, and Colton Koopmans comes down with an incredible catch in the end zone. Makes it 14-0. We're just 3 minutes into the contest. Next East Sac County possession, they're going to force the punt. A little high snap right here for Sam Julin. Boltman delivers the blow. Another possession for West Sioux inside the red zone, and they're going to take advantage. On the option play, this time Wiggins going to pitch it over to Linut, and he just literally walks right into the end zone for another touchdown. 21-0 at this point. 6 minutes and 18 seconds left in the first quarter, and it's 28-0. Wiggins this time to Avery Milliken on the slant route. West Sioux left no doubt in this contest. Your final from Hayward, 58-0 in favor of the Falcons. We're going to stay in Class 1A, another top 10 team in the state all year long. It's been Western Christian, 6-2, taking on a 4-4 South Central Calhoun team. First quarter, Wolfpack, Caden Van Riggenmorter launches this one downfield, and Ashton Van Holt right there to record this one. Doesn't score, though, and so this one stalls out. We give it back to South Central Calhoun. Gavin Botta hands it off to Zach Trott, 10 yards. Ball comes loose, but the Titans able to avoid a catastrophe. They pounce on the ball. Still in the first quarter, and we finally get someone into the end zone. Tyler Van Mantle just stretching this one out for the score. Western Christian takes a 7-0 lead. So we now go to the second quarter now. Wolfpack going through the air again. This one, Van Riggenmorter drops a dime into Chandler Polema. I mean, it doesn't get better than that, folks. It does not get better than that. 14-0 in favor of the Wolfpack at this point. South Central Calhoun's going to go right back to the run game, though. Cole Higgins almost scores it in. On the next play, they punch it in to make it a 14-7 game. The Western Christian defending their home turf with pride. They take it and they advance in the 1A playoffs, 36-18 over West Central Calhoun. And we go into Class 5A. Regular season matchup, though, but a regular season finale between East and West. Raiders looking to solidify their spot in the postseason as well. A little tune-up right here against their rivals from West. Late in the second quarter, they got a big lead and just going to the bread and butter. Cole Ritchie over to Preston Dobbs. Nice move, gets into the red zone. A couple plays later, Ritchie pump fakes, rolling. Let's go back to the left side, and let's find the big tight end in the end zone. Number 14, calling his name, Lincoln Calling. Comes away with the TD reception. It's 41-6 at this point. Let's go to the end of the second quarter. Devion West right here drops a dime to Lamarian Mothershed. Mr. West, I thought this kid was a running back. Put this kid at QB. Let him make plays. Drive would stall out. We go to the second half now. In the third quarter early on, Richie swings it out. Again, they love those screen plays, especially when you can get the ball to Kellen Jacobson in space. Easily strolls into the end zone. It's 48-6 at this point. Sioux City East goes on to comfortably win over Sioux City West. Heading to the postseason next, 62-14 your final. Well, folks, it is time for a quick break in the action, but when we come back, we're going to visit Lamar's as Galen Catholic looks to start a strong run to the Class A bracket. We've got more highlights and scores right after this.
You're watching Game Night on Siouxland News.
Playoff football returns here on Game Night as we get right back into the Class A bracket featuring a very talented group from Galen Catholic. The Jays coming into this contest at 7-1 in the regular season, taking on a Tri-Center group that likes to run the football. They're known to do that. However, the Jays said, you know what, we're going to throw it around a little bit. First quarter, 4th and 6, Connor Kraft. He's going to lob this one up. Keaton Bonderson. Say it with me. You got mossed. 7-0 in favor of Galen Catholic. Let's go right back to 12. This time just throwing people to the ground. Kicks on the speed. Jays are up 13-0 at this point. Tri-Center, though, I said they run the football. They're going to prove that to a T. Right up the gut, Michael Turner fights for a nice gain. And then Turner's going to get into the end zone on this one. After a 2-point conversion, it's 13-8. Next drive for Tri-Center, though. Maddox Anderson trying to go deep. Keaton Logan having none of it. Coming away with the INT, a big turnover right here for Galen Catholic. And then let's just go back to what's been working. Kraft scrolling, throw it up to 12, give him the football. Bonderson, his 3rd touchdown in the first half. Fun stat for you. Bonderson had more touchdowns than Russell Westbrook had field goals the other night on the basketball court. Galen Catholic, no problem, 40-22 over Tri-Center. We've got another regular season action in Class 4A wrapping it up. Spencer, after losing last week to Lamar's, trying to bounce back as they prepare for the postseason, taking on a winless Storm Lake team. At the half, Tigers had a 35-0 lead, large part due to what they were doing in the run game. Jack Behrens takes the pitch, picks up the first down, gets into the red zone. However, this time they're going to try to go with the sweep again. Ball comes loose. Daniel Ramirez delivers the hit and recovers the fumble for Storm Lake right here. A big play for the Tornadoes, trying to just get back in this thing. And you know what? I love this tactic. Give the ball to the big fellas. They're going to run it right up the gut with Aiden Phillips. So that worked once. Let's see if it'll work again. At the goal line, Alan Pond this time takes it in. If you're wearing number 70 or above, yes, you are a designated running back over at Storm Lake. Spencer, though, too much damage in the first half. They come away with the win on the road, 35-7. So we got a lot of highlights coming your way. Now let's hit the scoreboard. Let's start in the 8-man category in the state of Iowa. GTRA knocking out Kingsley Pearson 50-34. Remsen St. Mary's put up 76 points against someone that couldn't slow them down. Let's just be honest. West Bend Mallard shuts out Clarksville by a final of 48-0. We move things over to Class A. Westwood falling short on the road, 46-21. Woodbury Central no problem at home over South O'Brien, a 42-0 shutout victory as they advance. Harley Melvin Sanborn 46-31 over North Union to keep their playoff hopes alive. And Hinton on the road, a big win over Logan Magnolia, 46-22. We move up the category to Class 1A. Ridgeview falling 54-12 to South Hamilton, and Kemper Catholic knocks out Emmitsburg 35-8. Up in 2A, CLGLR 57-0 over Iowa Falls Alden. West Lyon 37-26 over ELC as they advance. Also in Class 2A, number 1 team, Spirit Lake 35-7 over Sheldon. A great game between OAB, CIG as they take down Unity Christian at home 29-23. And a couple of regular season finales for you this evening. Cherokee Washington, close one with Sibley Ocheyedan, 35-28. A 1-point win as Sioux Center knocks off MOC Floyd Valley 21-20. And the same said for BHRV, taking down Bishop Heelan at home 25-24. Well, we press pause just one more time tonight. We're going to be right back with 2 more games from Norfolk, Nebraska. That's all ahead next.
Let's go, boys! Let's go!
Well, a few more schools in Siouxland actually wrapped up regular season play this evening, including a Norfolk Catholic squad looking to keep their perfect record intact. Knights hosting Hartington Cedar Catholic earlier this afternoon in Class C2. Quick shout out to our friends from Northeast Community College. Been great all season long. Tonight's highlights coming from Carter Hattery and Cash Lure. First quarter, Hartington Cedar Catholic Andrew Jones looking for Jackson Bernecker. That one's going to be picked off, though, by Norfolk Catholic's Max Hammond. Give the Knights the ball on offense, and well, this is just a dangerous team, specifically in the run game. Carter Jansen in the second quarter now keeps it, goes all the way, 50-yard pickup right there. And then the remaining 10 yards, we're just going to give it to Carter Kirkman. Bounces out to the left and gets a block, and he's in. 7-0 in a very defensive contest between these two schools. Still in the second quarter, Canyon Talton, 29-yard scamper, a big touchdown right here to make it 14-0. Folks, that was your final score because in the second half, no points were scored. Again, a defensive stalemate, but the Knights proving to be the better squad. They take it, they stay undefeated for the regular season. Later on in the evening, we're still in Norfolk, the Panthers hosting Kearney. These highlights brought to you by Andrew Kittle and Carlos Wohler of Northeast Community College. First quarter, Kearney gets on the board first. Brighton Tauberheim gets in for 2 yards. Still in the first quarter, Traven Beckman gets it to Jack Dahlgren. He goes 75 yards right down the sideline. No one's got a good angle. No one's got the speed to match him. That makes it 13-3 at this point. We now go to the second quarter. You can kind of see how this is going. Beckman, another touchdown for Kearney. Yep, wide open down the field. They go on to win on the road over Norfolk. Your final in this one, 34-10. A couple of scores to report. We'll start in Nebraska from this evening, wrapping up regular season play. South Sioux City falling to Lincoln Southeast 52-12. Ponca gets the win over West Holt by 4, 28-24. And it was Pierce over West Point Beamer, 54-20. Now, for those of you that didn't catch it last night, Nebraska actually had some playoff games take place. Walk through them. In D1, LCC 68-20 over Meade. It was Clarkson Lee, a 5-point win over Wisner Pilger, and Plainview falling on the road as well. Crofton gets the win. Stanton 79-20 over Pender in that contest. We go to D2 now. Why not a big win at home? Bloomfield drops 88 points. Unreal. And also, Howes Dodge takes down Creighton 64-12, and Wausau also falling 58-22 as well. A couple of scores from South Dakota will wrap up the playoff scenario again. Elk Point Jefferson at home gets the win 58-7 over Rapid City Christian. Dakota Valley in regular season play falls to the #1 team in Class 11A. Del Rapids takes them down by 4. And then the scenario with Vermilion right here. They win last night in the regular season 27-0. However, I mean so close from missing out on the playoffs. We tip our hat to the Tanagers on another great year. Another great night of football, folks. We'll see you next week as we continue our playoff run all the way to the state championship.